Hey YouTube, welcome to Viking Preparedness. I'm Pastor Joe Fox. Today, what I've got to do is move this horse shed that way. Now the reason why, as you can see going up in the background there, is a gas pipeline. And what they have to do is go right through this corner of my property, only about 8 feet in, and expose the pipe to do some kind of checks. And so they called me up and they said, hey, you know, we got it right away, Roger. You got to move your horse stall. And I almost didn't film this video because I'm like, you know, what has this got to do with preparedness? But then it hit me, there's a lot of lessons to be learned here. And so in no particular order, let me just hit them and then I'll probably show you some video of me working on moving this thing. The first thing is this, you know, when we're into preparedness, when we're into survivalism, you have to have the attitude of I can do this, or do it yourself, or, you know, get it done, or whatever. If you've got a lot of money, then fine, go spend your money and you know, you can have other people work for you. But I don't have a lot of money. At one point I had a pretty good job that paid a lot of money, and yet and still I built this for our horse. My wife wanted some kind of shelter for her horse to be able to get out of the sleet and the driving rain when it was really cold. Snow's not so much of a problem with a horse, but you know, when it's about 33 degrees and pouring rain, that's not good for a horse. And a horse stall needs to be 12 by 12, and that's so if they roll over, they can get back up. Or if they lay down, they can roll over and get back up. And so, yeah, I could have had somebody build it, or I could have spent a lot more money. But I had this tin. I got all this tin for $16 at an auction. And I had some 4x4s and some 2x4s, and I said, hey, I'm just going to slap something together myself. My intention was that a couple years later, I would actually build a barn proper for the horse. So that's another lesson here. When you live out in the country, you might as well do it right the first time. You might as well do it as nice as you want it the first time, because you know what you do is going to last a long time. This was years ago that I slapped this together. Now it is functional, you know, and it does work. We get high winds here in Kansas, and technically I'm not allowed to build a permanent structure on this right-of-way. And so I was still worried though about this thing blowing over into the next county. You know, we get 60-mile-an-hour winds all the time here. And so what I did is I had the two center in the rear and the front, the center 4x4s of the frame, I sunk them in the ground about 2 feet. And I told my wife, if they ever have to move this while I'm gone, just have somebody cut off those two 4x4s and drag the thing out of the way with your Jeep. So today, that's what we're going to do. We're going to cut off the two 4x4s and we're going to drag it out of the way. We're going to do it. You know, somebody asked me the other day, they came over to my house and I was working on some projects. I was working on the camper actually, and she asked me, hey, do you know what you're doing? No, not really, but I'll figure it out as I go. And that's another lesson. You know, you're an intelligent person. You're an intelligent man or a woman, and you can figure stuff out. Just do a little bit of research, maybe use YouTube for education, look something up, read a book, get out there, think about it, and then get her done. You know, just do it, and you learn through the experience. Are you going to do it perfect the first couple times? Probably not. Safety. Something like this, you need gloves. All right, so wear gloves. You should probably wear eye protection. I'm wearing these so I can see. And yeah, that's about it for now. Oh, have friends. I've got a friend walking down right now with about 100 pounds of gear, ropes, come-alongs, and stuff like that. It's good to have friends to help you. So that's it for now, and we'll see you later. What I'm going to do now is put a hole in the siding instead of removing the siding so we can get a rope around the bottom upright there. All this tin, 16 bucks, I don't mind sticking a hole in it. All right, let me see. Wow, that's loud. Yeah, that's good.
Careful, Matt. this other corner's not tournament. All right, good. Go.
Okay, so Sister Kate, I showed her how to do a knot. She said, hey, I should show you guys that. You saw how much pressure we put on the rope when we were pulling this shed. I don't know what this shed weighs, 800 pounds, 1,000 pounds, something. And so we put a lot of tension on the rope, and the knot was really easy to untie. And here's how we did it. You saw how we kind of tied the whole thing up, and it went in here and around and back to the corner and back around this corner, and then we had a free end that came out. And then we had a whole bunch of rope out on this end. So what I did is I made a bite. This is called a bite with this rope, and then with this free end that came out, see, here's the free end, I made a bite out of that. So now you have two bites, which I treat like two separate pieces of rope, and we start with a overhand knot. So you just go left over right and under. And now if we were going to tie a square knot, we'd do that right here, but that would put a lot of tension on this rope and it'd be hard to untie. So what I did, after we went over and under once, we go over and under one more time, like that. So there's actually 3 wraps on the bottom. That soaks up a lot of the tension. And then we close it like a square knot, over the top and under, and because it's not an even, there's 3 on the bottom and 1 on the top, I just do it one more time on the top like this. So we end up, can you see this? We end up with a square knot on the top, 3 wraps on. Okay, hey, we've got a whole bunch of rope laying in the dirt. Just some general rope tips. This is an old used rope that my buddy bought for $1 at an auction. That's no reason for us to abuse it. And so after we coil this up, we're going to wash it, and I'm not going to show you a video of that, but basically we're going to loosely coil it up and down in a trash can full of water. Do that until it kind of runs clean, and then we'll just lay it out to dry. You don't want little bits of dirt and fiber doing any more damage than has already been done to this rope. But how do you coil a rope? You know, when you want to use it, you got to be able to pull it out, and that works if you have a coil. First thing we're going to do is back feed the rope. So we just take it like this, and we just pull it, and we do this to make sure that there's no kinks in it when it comes time to rolling it up and it feeds well. So we just back feed it like this.
How many feet is the rope?
I guess 150.
150 maybe. All right, right here you can see we've got this potential beginnings of a knot, and that's exactly why we back feed it, because we don't want to get to this point when we're coiling it. It's like spaghetti. All right, there we go. All right, so now we're at the end. Come on up here. Hold this, and you're going to stand like this with your back to me. Actually, we'll put your back to the camera so people can see. All right, and put your hands on your hips. Now what we're going to do is just coil around his arms like this. And when you do that, you let the rope take its natural bends. You don't force it into a lay or a bend that it doesn't want. And about the time this thing weighs about 200 pounds, we'll go for a run or something. Pull your elbows forward just a little bit so it holds it up there. All right, so here we come to the end of the rope. Grab it at the top here. Go ahead and relax. And you have your coil of rope. And what I do is make this one loop a little bit shorter. Throw a bite in it. Start wrapping. Thanks. Now technically we should have 6 to 8 wraps at the top of this rope, and we probably won't, but I'm not gonna mess around too much on it because we're gonna go wash this rope. This will work good enough. So we wrap it around here, and you stick it through the loop that you made, and you find that part of the rope right there, and you just pull it tight. Like that. And now we have a nice coil of rope. All right, I'll see you out there. All right, YouTube. That's what a little bit of sweat equity, a friend, some mechanical advantage, an FJ, rope, tools, and my wife behind the camera can do. You know, the lesson here is you can do things yourself. It may not be pretty, but you can get it done. I'll see you out there.